If you've ever wondered how the French ended up storming the Bastille, I hope you are getting the in real life lesson that we are all living through right now. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. In 1789, the French citizens grew weary of a monarchy and French empire that considered their needs as a bother or unnecessary. Sound familiar? Now we have our own queen of excess in Donald Trump, who has commanded that the ridiculous, gaudy, oversized White House ballroom construction continue during the government shutdown that he caused, whilst the rest of us can just eat cake. Take a look at this hilarious tweet from Governor Newsom's press office. You know, as a side, because I'm a history buff, Marie Antoinette wasn't nearly as awful as she's portrayed anecdotally. If you read history, she really wasn't, but she was certainly not nearly as horrid as Donald Trump is. Seriously, he's like 1,000 times worse. Anyway, I'm one of millions of Americans who is very worried about where her health care is coming from next year, if I get it at all. As many of you know, I'm a breast cancer survivor. The last 2 years, I've been through multiple surgeries, a ton of rehab, etc. The good news is I'm doing great. I'm cancer free. Thank you for those of you. I read the comments I see all the time. I hope you're doing okay. I am. But thanks to the fact that I had medical coverage to get me through that, I also fractured my arm, not once, but twice a few months ago. Again, thanks that I had coverage to cover these things. Like everybody deserves to have healthcare coverage. Everyone. So this is critical, literally a matter of life and death. Well, open enrollment for Obamacare, or the ACA, is scheduled to start on November 1st and go through January 15th in most states. But here's the big problem. The Biden administration extended subsidies through the Inflation Reduction Act. Remember that? That saved recipients an average of $704 annually in healthcare premiums. As a result of that, 2025 open enrollment reached a record high. More than 24 million signed up through the marketplace and were able to have healthcare coverage of some type. So thanks to Presidents Obama and Biden and the Democrats for getting that done. But Republicans, who have long abhorred Obamacare and have been trying to get rid of it since it began a decade ago, refused to extend those subsidies as part of their big, ugly ass bill so that they could give millionaires, billionaires, and now trillionaires like Elon Musk tax cuts. And so now, as we head towards 2026, health insurance companies are jacking up their costs at exactly the same time that these subsidies are running out. And the result?
Now, why do we care so much about them negotiating with us? It's not a point of pride. It's because Americans are hurting with higher costs throughout the country. Some of it's tariffs, some of it's energy costs, some of it's food costs. But one of the main reasons, and the one with the most immediate impact on raising Americans' costs, is skyrocketing costs of healthcare, all done by the Republicans. We have now learned that the premiums for those on ACA, 24 million people, that's a huge number, will go up 114%. It's an average, depending on your income and depending on what your costs were, that average families can't afford. There are going to be millions of American families in the next week in October sitting down and saying, how are we going to pay these damn bills? What do we have to cut to pay these bills? Or should we cut our health insurance or drop it altogether? It's estimated over 4 million people will. And why are those costs going up? Simply because the Republicans refuse to extend the ACA credits. That's all. And you say, well, negotiate it with them. Well, we want to, but they rejected it 3 times in 3 different bills. And now it's on their backs.
Could go up as much as 114%. I need you to hear me on that. And that is according to KFF, which is a nonpartisan nonprofit foundation. I mean, that's just astonishing. Initially, I had heard 75%, but now KFF estimates that they could go up by as much as 114%. Like, that's just insane. And as Senator Schumer said, this is on the Republicans' backs. And good on Senator Schumer for standing up for us this time. As you recall, last time he folded and went through with the continuing resolution, which I thought was a huge mistake. But moving along, the Republicans at Trump's royal command rejected the opportunity to return healthcare to 24 million Americans. That's what the Democrats were asking. They actually should have been asking for a lot more, but as part of their CR, they said, we need you to give back healthcare from the millions of Americans that you just stole it from. In addition to the Medicaid cuts, in addition to a $500 billion slash and burn to Medicare cuts, which will kick in over the next 2 years. And the Republicans said no, they said, F you, we're not going to do that. And now they are lying and lying and lying about what they did as they control the House, the Senate, the White House, and really the Supreme Court. Here is Speaker Mike Johnson.
The Democratic proposal is designed to prevent millions of Americans from losing their health insurance, losing Medicaid coverage, or paying higher health care premiums. Why are you against that?
That's an absurd statement, what you said there. Let's be clear about what happened last night, George. No, George, let me tell you what happened last night. Everybody can go and review the facts for themselves. 44 Senate Democrats voted to reject a clean, nonpartisan continuing funding resolution to keep the United States government open. The Democrats said instead that they wanted to give health care to illegal aliens instead of keeping critical services provided for the American citizens. That's what happened, plain and simple. Every Democrat in the House, except one, voted against the clean continuing resolution. It was nonpartisan in nature. There are no policy writers on it that Republicans favored. It's exactly what Chuck Schumer and other Democrats voted for in March. But they've changed their tune. They changed their tune because Chuck Schumer is having political problems right now. That's just a simple fact, and everybody knows it. He's trying to outrun the far left portion of his base, so he's decided to inflict pain on the American people.
Here are facts. Here are the facts. The proposal does not provide health care for illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants cannot buy health care under the Affordable Care Act. They cannot receive health care subsidies. No. Illegal immigrants are ineligible for Medicare, Medicaid, and the Children's Health Program. The Democratic bill does not make them eligible.
It does, actually, because what it does is it unwinds the changes that...
I mean, we all need medical treatment for the burns we received from his gaslighting. I mean, he is straight up lying. And he did it on multiple morning shows over this past weekend, just with that little smug little mannequin face. Oh, no, 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 no. He's such a freaking liar. He just makes me sick. The Republicans are all lying. And if it's a day ending in Y, we know that Trump is lying also. Here's what we do know so far. According to KFF, we will not know exactly how much healthcare costs are going to be until we open up the Marketplace website on November 1st for most of us and start to pick our individual plans. Some of us may qualify for smaller tax credits, but others will lose eligibility altogether and also get hit with the rising premiums at the same time. Here is AOC.
This is not a fight over tax credits. This is a fight over your ability to go to a pharmacy and afford your insulin. We're not talking about just 15 or 20% increases in people's premiums. Tomorrow, healthcare companies and today, healthcare companies are finalizing the premiums that everyday Americans are going to be paying. And we are talking about a doubling of monthly healthcare premiums, not even including your deductible, in terms of what people are going to be paying next year because of $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts that were put together earlier this year.
And to underscore, the $1 trillion cuts by Republicans, by Trump. They did this to you. They did this to me. They did this to us. And I happen to be following along AOC's Q&A on her Instagram last night as she was talking with us about the government shutdown. And for those who are still falling for the GOP's gaslighting, here are some of the answers that AOC's followers were giving to her about the topic. She was saying, don't believe me. This is what you all are already seeing and sharing on the ground. One person says, yep, my employer, big healthcare org in the West Coast, is already raising premiums for employees that make over X amount of money. And then she says, yet it's not just people who the GOP says are undeserving. I mean, it's insane that the Republicans say that there are so many people who don't deserve healthcare. This is going to economically hurt all of us, including people at higher incomes. And then someone else says, I work for Medicare and the increases are wild. Beneficiaries who are 80 to 90 years old, premiums increasing 80 to 100%. Breaks my heart. And the AOC says, doubling premiums on an 80-year-old? What are they supposed to do? This is honestly horrifying. And I agree. Like, that is cruelty of the highest magnitude. And then lastly, this person says, my husband works for an Amazon contractor that is doing very well, and his premiums are going up 20%. And then AOC says, hello, the American healthcare system is completely broken. Yes, I completely agree. We should have universal healthcare. Yes, call it what you want. Socialism is not the same as communism. There's a big difference. It is morally bankrupt that a country with as much wealth as ours leaves its citizens without healthcare and affordable housing, and lately without affordable food. This does not happen in other Western nations with functioning democracies, which we no longer have. And we could stop this today if we quit giving out all of our tax dollars to these bloated welfare queens, the billionaires club. They are the ones who are leeching off of us, not the other way around. Okay. The Republicans have completely co-signed on this. They have made it clear that they do not give a shit about their constituents unless they are, decamillionaires, billionaires, etc. And Democrats seem to finally be getting the message that we, the people, are done funding millionaires and billionaires. Yet, according to this brand new Washington Post poll, 67% of Republicans blame the Democrats for the shutdown. It's just truly unbelievable. As a side note, there wasn't one shutdown during Biden's presidency. We came close, but Democrats struck a last-minute deal with then House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. And you know what Republicans did to reward him for keeping the government open? They kicked him out as House Speaker. So these people are not serious at all about funding the government. They do not give a about us at all. Trump's goal and the goal of Russell Vought, Stephen Miller, and the other architects of Project 2025 is to completely defund and destroy our federal government, with the exception of the war fighting department. So spread this video far and wide and show your Republican friends and family the facts. We are all, every single one of us, about to get slammed with huge healthcare costs. And unless you are very wealthy, it's going to hurt as much or more than getting sick or injured does. Seriously. We did not ask for a greedy queen or king. So let's be like the French. Anytime there is a problem in France, the French hit the streets and aggressively protest, okay? Aggressively, peacefully protest. So let's hit the streets for No King's Day, which falls on October 18th. You can go to invisible.org, I believe, and get more information. Just Google it. No King's Day, October 18th. I will see you in the streets. Enough of this. Okay. Let Trump and his friends eat cake. Au revoir.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.